Today's the 23rd of April 2018. It's a lovely early summer day. It's only April. It's great. I really like that. Last year it was snowing. I was in Germany in Berchtesgaden. Great place to visit, but I wish the weather had been like it is today. Now, this is the first film that I've actually filmed with my new camera. It's a Samsung S7. They originally came out in March of 2016, so the camera itself is actually 2 years old. So I hope that the problems it might have been sorted out. That wasn't the case in the camera I bought last time, which was a Galaxy Note 4, and it turned out to have a problem with it, which caused it to break down completely. I want to talk about that in another film, not now. But on the subject of filming things, I'm going to show you something else, which is my Sony a6000 camera. There it is. And the problem with this camera was that some of the films I made with it looked really awful to me. The stabilization is dreadful, the colors are awful, and anyway, I took it to be repaired, and they said there was nothing wrong with it. So I've got in writing that there's nothing wrong with it, so that must mean that the Sony itself is quite bad. Everybody says the Sony a6000 is absolutely brilliant. Well, I don't think it is. Now, I've only got my own things to show, and it could be that the camera operator is really bad, so that if that is the problem, then I don't understand. Also, perhaps I ought to do a course in making films or something like that. I'm sure there's plenty of them online. I think I'll be filming or watching rather how to film, and then I'll try and learn to do it a bit better. My problem is when I make films is that it's I have a situation where I go and do a film, but then by the time I get round to actually putting it together, it's either, for example, I'm at a trade fair or I'm visiting a place, I'm no longer where I was. I don't have access to whatever it was I was filming, particularly if I'm doing motorhomes or something like that. I can't actually see them again. So this leaves me with the question, why is the a6000 so bad? Well, should I change the lens? Should I get a new camera? Should I do this, that, the other? So I asked, what should I do? And they said, well, sell that camera and get one that suits you. Well, they had a shop next to it, and I asked them there, and they seemed to think, well, no, this camera should work, it should be okay. I don't know why it's so bad. Maybe you should have bought a Sony, the a6500, which records in 4K and would be better, but the stabilization would still be just as bad. Well, the answer to the stabilization being bad maybe is to get a wider screen. You can get this thing here has got a 16 to 50 lens. We'll get a 10 to 18 lens. Actually, I must say as well that there's one of the people I consulted on this is his name's Martin. He lives in Canada, and he's got a great photography channel, and he suggested to me that what I need to do is to get a different lens. So I've got to say I was warned up front. Anyway, the cost of this other lens is 50% on top of the price that I paid for this thing here. So I paid for this in I'll have to give it you in Polish currency, which is 2,400, so share that by 4.2 to get it in euros, and the cost of the new lens would be 3,600 zloty, so it's about what, 750 euros or something like that. So it's more than the much more than the cost of the original camera. Having said that, if it will reduce the shake which is on it. Another thing I'm looking at to buy is a gimbal, and hopefully that may make stabilize my films. Indeed, when I got this this telephone here, I got it because it had stabilization. So I started looking at various cameras, and I thought, well, okay, at least I'm obviously not going to use the camera as my main, the telephone as my main camera. It's only my backup, but quite often I need to have a backup because I run out of electricity on the battery runs out quickly, so that's needed. Right, so if you've used the Sony a6000 and you think it's a good camera, or you think, I don't know what to do, I'm really stuck, because I want to get something better, but I don't know what. I'm aware of the fact that my motorhome films could be much better, but I just don't know what to do. In the shop they were a bit they didn't know what to suggest to me either. So, well, you can, okay, buying a TV camera sort of thing. Well, I can't do that. It's I'm going to have to carry the thing around everywhere. So anyway, stuck on that one. Right, so if you've got any ideas, please do let me know, and I'm going to try and work them out. I'm still looking for a gimbal, and if anybody's got any sensible suggestions on sensible gimbal which they've used, I don't want to somebody use something which you haven't tried. I want to see how it works before I buy it, and I want recommendations from people with experience. Right, so lovely day here, look at that, nice, eh? And it's in the evening now as well, so great. So thanks for your assistance, bye.